So for this, for our value scale, we need to have a 1-inch margin on all sides. And then our value scales are going to be 7 by 2 with a 1/2 inch in between. So I'm going to put my margins in first, and I'm just going to do this quick. So you can pause, you can fast forward, you can do whatever you want with this video. I'm going to show you how to do all of these things, and I'm not going to talk much as I work my way through it. Or maybe I will talk, but I'm not going to slow myself down. So anytime you measure, anytime you draw a line, you want to measure from the edge. So this ruler, the 0 is right here. It's not the edge of the ruler. That the 0 is actually a line on there. So that's what I'm going to line up, and then I make my mark right at the 1. So I've got 1 inch here. I'm going to turn my paper this way. 1 inch. 1 inch. And I'm going to connect those lines. And these lines that I'm drawing, when I connect these are very light, because some of these I will end up erasing. So now I'm going to put my 1 inch margin on this side, and instead of adding, I'm going to subtract. So I'll just pick a number. I'm going to line it up with 4, and then 4 minus 1 is 3. So I'm going to make a mark at 3. I'll do the same thing at the bottom, line it up at 4, make the mark at 3, and then draw that line. So now, since this is a 9-inch piece of paper, this should be about 7 inches. I think this paper is actually a little bit longer, but it should be close. So it's a little bit over, but if I'm not sure, I can double check my margins, and my margin there is right, and my margin there is right. So I'm good. Now, I want these to be 2 inches with a 1/2 inch in between, and I'm going to have 4 of them. So I'm going to line that up with 0. I'm going to start on that margin line with 0, and I'm going to go 2 inches, and then I got to go a 1/2 inch, so I'm going to go 2.5. Now 2.5 plus 2 is 4.5. 4.5 plus a 1/2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then I'm going to put that 1/2 inch. 7 plus 1/2 is 7.5. 7.5 plus 2.5. 1, 2 is 9.5. So I'm going to do the same thing up here. 2, 2.5, 4.5, 5, 7, 7.5, and 9.5. And if you've done this correctly, your bottom margin is going to be about 1.5 inches. So it'll be a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to connect these. So there's my first value scale. Here's my second value scale. My third. And again, still drawing these very, very lightly. If you want, you can go over them in Sharpie if you want to darken the borders of your value scale. But after I do this, so now the last step is I'm going to clean this up. So I don't want any extra pencil lines on the edge. So all I want to see is those rectangles that are going to be my value scales. And then once you're done with that, you can label these. So on the first one, we're going to do blending. On the second one, we're going to do stippling. On the third one, we're going to do cross-hatching. And on the last one, we're going to do a method called scumbling. And make sure when you're doing your letters, if you're labeling these, Make sure that those G's don't poke into your value scale. And then that's it. Then once you have this done, you put your name. I'm going to put my name in the bottom right-hand corner. And like I said, if you want, you can go around these with Sharpie, or you can leave it as is. And that's how you set it up.